Hello, all, and welcome back to my channel. I hope all of you are doing fine and having a good time. And today I would be talking about an important topic on the face of America. Some agree with it and some don't agree with it, and that's marijuana. So, how is marijuana? What's the perception people have about marijuana when it comes to you know the various use of marijuana? Actually, yeah, some see the positive use of marijuana, and some see it as a negative use actually. And some of the states, they agree with it on the positive side of marijuana, and some of the states, they don't agree with it. It's still a bad thing, actually, a bad thing that spoils the system, especially the neurological system. And it creates a lot of problems, actually. It is worse than you know smoking a cigarette. Yes, of course. And I do have a personal experience because I had weed once, and that's the last time I had, actually. Well, and it was a pretty very bad experience that I had, and good that I had that pretty bad experience on my first you know experience. It's because I quit after that, and I never. That's more than 20 years back. Anyways, so regarding marijuana, many states have a positive look on it, and some of the states have a negative perspective on it. Yeah, yeah. Today's talk is all about, some of the states, they really should take a step forward when it comes to marijuana, and some of the states, they should take a step backward when it comes to marijuana. Said that marijuana, yes, of course, the medicinal uses of marijuana. Yes, I quite understand with the folks who argue about the medicinal uses of marijuana. Yes, of course, it should be available for medicinal uses, and it should be in the form of prescription, just like how prescription medicines are available when compared to over-the-counter medicines. It should be available in the form of a prescription. When you say that it can be used for medicinal usage, it should be available in the form of a prescription provided by a doctor. Any illness is treated by a doctor in the US, right? You go to a hospital or a clinic and diagnose your illness. That's how it happens, actually. So when you take medicines, you get a prescription from the doctor. And of course, there are many over the counter medicines, but you don't need approval of the doctor. But medicines that require attention needs a prescription. Just like that, marijuana, if you're going to use it for medicinal uses, it should be given a green light by your doctor. I understand, some of the folks arguing that it has medicinal, uses, and it will be helpful to people who are badly in need of that particular medicine, especially when it comes to some of the neurological diseases out there. I totally understand, but why not provide it with a prescription so that it doesn't get into the wrong hands? Of course, criminals, no matter what regulations you have, they will find a way to get it, but at least you can control it. At least you can control it. It's not the end, actually. You cannot totally regulate marijuana under prescriptions, but you can regulate it to some extent. That's what is necessary. At the same on the same argument level, and on the same basis, marijuana should not be made legal. It's not that everyone should possess it. No, as I said, it intoxicates a person's body, and makes him do all sorts of things. His mind is not the same. It's superlative to smoking and drinking. Smoking a cigarette or drinking, that also gives some kind of intoxication, but this is superlative, and it affects your nervous system. It not only affects your nervous system, it affects your family too. How does it affect your family? Because marijuana is not available for free. you have to provide some money to get that. Yes or not? And of course, it is going to put a black mark on your finances. And when you are a breadwinner for the family, and when you spend your money on marijuana, certain amount of the money that you earn is spent of marijuana, which means that money is not available to your family. So, smoking marijuana is not only affecting you, but your family and kids too. You might be earning well, but still, you could provide a better living to your family and kids when you're able to, put this money on the right bin, or say on the right box actually, rather than throwing it away getting marijuana. Another thing is that did you know that Canada has come out with a new law that possession of 2.5 grams of cocaine is illegal. Now, if you're wondering how much is 2.5 grams, you might would have received certain prescriptions like it's 2,500 milligrams, and you would have received certain prescription medicines which are 500 mg, 250 mg. And if you're going to crack that capsule, or if you're going to crack that pill, actually, the amount of powder that you have in hand, it's kind of 5 times 500 milligrams of powdered pill or powdered capsule. So that's how much it is actually, and possibly it could be useful to 5 different people, 2.5 grams. And if one person is going to take 2.5 grams of cocaine on a single shot, it is going to affect him drastically. It's going to affect his mental health, and it is going to affect his surroundings too. He could even kill someone. He could put someone's life in danger, apart from putting his own life on danger. So what do we understand from this? It's going to the next level actually. Right now, in the US, it is all about whether to legalize marijuana or not. But Canada has gone to the next level where they are talking about legalizing cocaine. And there are so many organizations out there which fight for children, fight for the people who lose their lives, who lost their lives, or who have lost their path in life by the use of marijuana and cocaine. Where are these organizations? Why are they not speaking against such stuff, such things? Canada has got a law outside. What were they doing until this law was out? So Canada has moved to the next level. Now in the US, marijuana has two perspectives. One, it is for medicinal use, and one, it is for recreational use. Now, there are states which do not legalize the use of marijuana for medicinal use also. They should take a step forward to make marijuana available for medicinal use, and in the form of prescriptions, just like prescription medicines. And some of the states should take a step backward where they should regulate and make marijuana available only for medicinal uses and not for recreational uses. Especially in the state of New York, where I live. When you walk in the streets of the city, you smell marijuana everywhere. You smell marijuana everywhere, and you see cops also all over the place. They are unable to do anything about it. And the smell is sick. Let me tell you, the smell is sick. It's intolerable. It's not just like, a person smoking cigarette. This one has a peculiar smell to it actually, and it is not tolerable at all. And the hands of cops are tied up actually. They can't do anything about it. And that is because of the laws that are present in that area. the local laws that allow recreational marijuana. Now, it's not that everyone smokes marijuana. Do the lawmakers know there are kids outside there, there are women outside there, and there are men outside there who very much hate the smell of marijuana? It's not all of the people in US smoke. How much percentage of people in the US smoke? You don't see the majority of people in the US smoke. And yet, there is public smoking, quite understandable. Developing countries like, in Asia, like, for instance, India, they have, some of the states in India have banned public smoking. They've banned public smoking. You would be arrested if you smoke in the middle of a road or in public places. But in the US, I understand there is quite a lot of liberalism over here. It all depends on the how the perspective of people, the people that they elect to the government, and the people the what's the thinking level of people, the thought of the people, what they accept as good and what they accept as bad. Said that something that is bad, and if it is accepted by a majority, it becomes good actually. So good or bad doesn't depend on the background of it, but how people look towards it. If the majority think that something is good, it is good, and it is not necessary it should have some kind of a philosophical value, or it is not necessary that it should have some kind of goodness in it. No, it's all about the majority. If a majority thinks it is right, then it is good. Likewise, why don't you see the majority over here? It's not that most of the people in the US smoke. It's not most of the people in the US take marijuana. What percentage of people take marijuana in the US? Think about it. Most of the people don't take marijuana. And when most of the people don't take marijuana, why not regulate? Why is the government bothered only about a section of the people rather than the majority of the people for whom smoking and marijuana is a disturbance? So, talking about the states that have legalized marijuana, even for recreational purpose, it is a request that these states should think about the majority of the people in that area who are non-smokers of marijuana. Marijuana not only affects the person, but it affects his family, his surroundings, his friends too. It is like a virus. It is like a virus. I'm not saying it is a virus, it is like a virus where it can spread and affect the surroundings. So some of the states who have legalized recreational marijuana, they should take a step backward, regulate the use of marijuana, and limit it to only prescriptional or medicinal use. Marijuana should be used only for medicinal use under the law, period. And some of the states should take a step forward where marijuana should be allowed to use for medicinal use. Now, talking about legalization of marijuana, states should take more care when it comes to legalization of marijuana. Regulations are very important because you don't want to get this stuff into the hands of people who don't deserve it. There are people who take marijuana by purpose, by their own discretion. But there are, incidents where marijuana can be distributed to the wrong population. For example, recently there was an item in news where marijuana was mixed among candies for children. Now, you don't know whether children can totally accept it, the amount of intoxication or the amount of toxic level present in, marijuana. Each child is different, and the capacity of each child is different. What if a child gets over intoxicated by the presence of marijuana in candies and leads to the death of the child? You might just find, one in a million of such a case. But let me tell you, it's not the percentage that is important over here. Many would argue that, it's a small percentage. It's a very small percentage. It's negligible. But let me tell you, the loss is big for a parent. Even if it is one child, it is the only child of a parent, or it is a child among many siblings to a parent. So the loss is more important to a parent, and there should be more regulations. Police should be given more power in restricting marijuana. It shouldn't get into the wrong hands. The purpose of marijuana can be used in different ways. It can be used to spoil someone's life without his knowledge, without her knowledge. Some of the states should provide extra power to the regulation authority, the authority that regulates the usage of marijuana. It simply shouldn't get to each and every one. It should be limited and it should be regulated. Marijuana is not for everyone. And marijuana is not a candy. Let me tell you, it's not a candy. It shouldn't be in the candies that children eat. It shouldn't be on the toys that children play with. So, there should be strict laws with regard to marijuana. At the same time, thinking about the patients, the people with ailments that need marijuana. It should be provided in the form of a prescription drug rather than available over the counter. So, some of the states should take a step forward in regulating marijuana in the form of a prescription drug, and some of the states should take a step backward in regulating marijuana so that it's not available as a recreational, or it's not available in the form of a recreational drug. You don't need marijuana for recreation. Or even if it is available for recreation, there are immense possibilities that it could be served to the wrong population, especially children. It should not be made available in schools. How strict are the school boards when it comes to marijuana in their campus? Do, do teachers check whether a student is in possession or whether a student is smoking weed or not? A regular student, a regular child shouldn't be in need of marijuana. If the child has some neurological problems, or if he or she has a neurological disease, then it should be available in the form of a prescription, not as a recreational thing. It shouldn't be simply available for recreation. So steps should be taken by states. Some of the states one step forward and some of the states one step backward. Said that, we come to the end of today's topic, that is marijuana. And I thank everyone who liked my talk, and to the folks who think otherwise, that have a different perspective on what I said today. I thank you for taking the time to listening to me. Time is more valuable than anything, and I thank you for allocating the time to listen to my talk. Until my next topic discussion, I wish you all a happy and good time over there. Enjoy. Do visit my channel for new updates and videos. Take care. Bye bye.